Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the John Campea Show, brought to you in part by Mint Mobile. This is a non-Campea show, though, because it is I, Chris Carr, back at the adults' table today. I am running things, and I am so cozy and drunk with power. But, of course, I am not alone, because on Fridays when John's away, things get a little more shway, because it's with the Batman Beyond team. That's right. I am here with the Duke of Dopeness, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude, Robert Meyer Burnett, my best buddy.
Thank you. And I have Batman. This is the first time Batman Beyond, I think, has overseen the actual Batman Beyond crew.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
The Hot Toys Arkham Batman Beyond, fighting, of course, the Arkham Deathstroke, the Terminator.
Be more natural. It's how it should be. And of
true.
course, joining us here, we've got Ray Ora in the back there. Yes! Alan Horn, too. We've got Jonathan Boyko running everything. We've got Taylor Gonzalez, and he's got Spoiler Pig.
I got Spoiler Pig.
Ooh, I love it. All right, guys. Well, even though John is away, the spirit of the show remains the same. We are going to be talking to you about movie news, streaming news, all kinds of sorts of good things, and we can't do it without you, so we're so happy you're here. But before we get into today's main topics, we're just going to do a few off the tops, starting with this. Now, this really comes as no surprise to anyone, but it is official. Last of Us Season 2 has been officially announced. Oh, hello there, Daddy Pedro. We're so proud of you. This came in this morning. Everyone was reporting on it from Deadline to Variety to CBR. We've got that Season 2, but I don't think anyone was really shocked by this. Rob, how you feeling about a Season 2?
Let me explain something, how things work in this industry.
Oh, please do.
This show is already renewed. there was never. It's kind of like when I was working on Dota: Dragon's Blood for Netflix. It was an animated series. We already knew, spoiler alert, that we were doing 3 seasons. It was an animated show. We were working on those 3 seasons because you have to. It's an animated series. It takes a long time. This show was already going to go at least 2 seasons already from the get, but they can't announce it right away, for various business industry reasons. So this does not surprise me in the least. As a matter of fact, if someone bet me was Last of Us going to be renewed for a 2nd season a year ago, I would have said, I will put however much money you want on the fact that it's going to be renewed, because when they went into production, I'm sure it was already decided that they were going to do it.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't already shot, to be honest.
What?
But they were already in, because they shot this up in Canada over, it was 15 months.
Yeah, you learned this when you were doing your Designing Hollywood.
Designing Hollywood, which you'll find out two winters.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's exciting because this show's damn good.
It's really,
it's funny.
Really
My favorite thing now is watching people week after week talk about how it's not as good as the game.
What?
But then you watch those voices, the dissenters go down.
They start dwindling out.
Yeah, it's dwindling. Oh, okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, what's that term that they use when something is new? You automatically think it's better than the old. Like, there's like a certain term. Like, Pedro Pascal recently has shot up the charts on my top actors list. He's played everything, like from this role where everyone said he doesn't look like him. Like, he's not, but he is Joel to me.
He's that universe's Joel.
Well, it's funny. He doesn't look like him because he's not computer generated.
Right.
I mean, it's a video game.
Exactly.
But he's shown his range in the past 2 years, and I'm happy for everyone on this casting for this season 2. If it was announced, whatever. The little girl I'm not familiar with because I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but she's quickly becoming a favorite character of mine in the show.
Well, my favorite thing now this week, I think every week, my new favorite thing is that they finally confirmed the fan theory that it was Flower in Jakarta. Like, that wasn't necessarily in the game, but now Craig Mazin has come out and said, no, yes, we went with it because of course it is, and the fact that nobody's touching, like in the first episode, nobody's eating anything that had flour in it, and they leaned into that. Now, here's what I love about adaptation. By coming out and giving you a credible reason why the cordyceps outbreak happened, it just makes the show better.
Yeah.
Now, it might not be exactly what was in the game, the same way that the way Tess died in the series, I think was far more effective and emotionally resonant than how she dies in the game.
In the game, they explain it, but not till later, and it's not as complex as this. It's like a lab experiment.
And, you know, if somebody said on my Twitter feed that she better get the best kiss on the MTV Awards this year.
Ugh.
I think that's only for
No,
movies.
I hate it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, gross. Before we segue to our next topic, I do want to just read this little quote from Deadline 2 from the creators. I'm humbled, honored, and frankly overwhelmed that so many people have tuned in and connected with our retelling of Joel and Ellie's story. The collaboration with Craig Mazin, our incredible cast and crew, and HBO exceeded my already high expectations, said executive producer Druckmann. Now we have the absolute pleasure of being able to do it again with season 2. On behalf of everyone at Naughty Dog and PlayStation, thank you. I'm so glad we're giving thanks to the people themselves from the game too. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Guys, the question's up for you. What do you think of this season 2 news? Did you already know this was happening? Were you just not surprised at all? Or are you super, super pumped about this? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. All right, still on the topic of Last of Us, last night we got some new images of Nick Offerman's role in The Last of Us that's going to be coming up soon. He's playing Bill in the game, but we're supposedly getting a very different version of that character. Rob, you were talking all about how adaptations can be, you know, sometimes better. Sometimes we have, like Ray's talking about, that recency bias, right? What do you think about having Nick Offerman as part of this series, and how do you feel about this aesthetic?
First of all, I love Nick Offerman. Like, did you see Devs, the show Devs?
Yes.
He's great
wonderful
in that. And I can't wait to see this. And it would not surprise me that we're going to get another opening flashback about Bill's character. Ooh. Like, where did Bill come from?
Yeah.
How did he, yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised what happened to Bill when the outbreak first started. Because I love this flashback structure. I think it's great.
What leads a man to become a smuggler in Massachusetts? Is that something you already do?
Well, he's like
I've got
Burt
Boston
Reynolds in
roots.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
You know, they're running moonshine or they're running booze, or in Beverly Hills Cop. You see that? That's a federal tax stamp. They're doing a deal for cigarettes.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. Back in the day, people could smuggle anything.
Yeah. Jonathan?
What's crazy about these flashbacks is that this could just as easily be. This could be like, oh, a misdirect. This is a flashback, but actually he's just like really secured in his town and grows his own food, and they're kind of eating nicely, but it's still during the pandemic or the outbreak. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know.
Yeah. It's very, very true.
It's true.
I can't see him outside of the role of Parks and Rec yet.
Oh,
He's gotta
you
have
just
to-
still
he-
always see him as Ron?
Yeah, he has
he's
to break out of that. Right
honestly,
now.
this character is sort of like Ron.
Is he really?
He's not that far off from Ron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just less comedic.
Yeah.
Aw.
But a lot of the same virtues, though. He's not a big fan of handouts.
Yeah.
Wants to make sure that he keeps to himself. He's all about self-preservation
Probably
and
loves red
self-reliance.
I saw this picture the other day because I was looking for Iron Man pictures, and someone did a Ron as Iron Man in the Iron Man suit, and I was like, maybe I might be down for that, depending on. just the thought of it was funny to me.
Oh, I love that.
Well, in this world, an Iron Man suit would be helpful. You could travel across the country very
well.
quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
Ain't none of those fun guys getting you.
Tonight, The Last of Us crosses over with the MCU with Nick Offerman.
The crossover we deserve.
And this is a Kang variant problem. He started this. It was Kang who brought the
Jonathan Majors
cordyceps
is just
out.
going to pop up in
Yeah,
episode
he's just
4.
going to be there.
It's
Why
gonna
not?
be great. Well, guys, let us know what you think of these images of Nick Offerman, and how excited are you about him playing the role of Bill in this adaptation? Hit us in those comments. All right, and before we move on to main topics, we are going to hear from our Mint Mobile hotline. You can always call in here, 951-268-4259. You get to talk directly to Ryan Reynolds. Oh my gosh, what a sweet, sweet man, talking to you about all your fandom questions. And then we answer them here on the show. So Jonathan, what do we have here?
Hey, John and crew. It's Ellis from South Florida, and I just had an idea. I was watching your show, and you brought up Swamp Thing the other day. And that being said, let me also say that Sandman is one of my favorite shows ever, especially on Netflix. So my question is, do you think that it's possible that they try to relaunch a Swamp Thing show maybe on Netflix? And I guess the real question is, do you think that Netflix could potentially become kind of the hub for Vertigo properties? Let me know what you think. Thank you very much, and bring on the filthy.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Thank
meant
you so
it.
much from Ellis. Yeah, he really committed to that read. I love it.
He changed.
I love that phrasing, too, of being a hub for Vertigo. Because I think when I thought of James Gunn taking the helm over at DC along with Peter Safran, I just thought, oh, we can dive into some weird and wacky along with our flagship properties. So Swamp Thing obviously had a very, very quick run on the screen, a very, very limited look at television that did not go over well. But is there any chance, you think, of having Swamp Thing integrated into this new, brand new DC?
Well, I mean, I think that, Swamp Thing is the kind of first. Swamp Thing is a great character.
Love him.
And Swamp Thing is a great DC universe character, and he can be quite versatile if used correctly. And I really liked that show, where that show is going, that Swamp Thing show is going. It was very odd to me that they wanted to cancel it after like the first, unlike Last of Us that gets renewed after episode 2, Swamp Thing got canceled like after episode 2.
Yeah.
It was a very odd play. And I think that why not? I mean, here's the thing. Even though James Wan is teamed up with Jason Blum, they're starting their new company. I mean, James Wan still has a $1 billion grossing DC movie in Aquaman that he's directed the sequel to, which will be the climax of the whole Snyderverse DC universe, which will be Aquaman. I could see that. I don't know if he'll be involved, but I definitely think Swamp Thing is a James Gunn favorite. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like it would be.
It seems like this is such a wheelhouse moment for him, right?
Yeah.
This kind of lines up with all the things he seems to enjoy in his own filmmaking. And if you're looking at what we could do with DC, one of my favorite things, right? The Justice League Dark, John Constantine, we know is coming back, at least with Keanu Reeves. Maybe we're going to have other iterations of John throughout this. But I think if you have Constantine, you have to have Swamp Thing. I think for me as a comic reader, they're so intrinsically tied. And you have such interesting stories too. When he takes over John's body and all kinds of things like that. There's some really interesting, beautiful, heartbreaking, disgusting stories you can tell that I think just would line up so well with the kind of filmmaking that I expect and love from James Gunn.
Well, it's...
Oh, yeah, Ray?
Go ahead, Ray.
No, I just wanted to ask, did anyone else on the watch Swamp Thing?
No,
Taylor?
but the minute you said swamp, I'm down. He's
He's
looking
the
like a
DC
dad
Shrek.
too. Yeah,
This is
I'm
a
down
shredded
with it.
Shrek.
That's the first time I've seen him.
But the idea of Netflix being a Vertigo hub, I think is a good idea, but I don't understand why they don't make HBO Max. Like, they just canceled Doom Patrol, which was a Vertigo book.
Yeah, and that cancellation just seemed wrong. I don't know. I know they're kind of clean slating, but gosh.
I'm kind of bummed because I never watched Titans regularly until season 4 because I
Yeah.
wanted Brother
'Cause of your
Blood,
boy.
Mother Mayhem.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been liking it.
I really enjoy Doom Patrol, and with how hot Brendan Fraser is right now too, that just seems like such an odd move. I mean, I'm not in the room where it's happening, so I can't really say like that's a boneheaded move there, but it just surprised me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be really interesting to hear what their plan is because it must be a comprehensive plan. So we'll know TV, movies. I mean, because who doesn't want to see? I want to see a Justice League Dark movie.
I really do.
I mean, the animated film was pretty cool, and I want to see it in live action.
I love it. And it was I loved what they did with their marketing for it too, because when you bought it on physical media, you got a copy of Justice League Dark, a very tiny version of the omnibus that was so great and now you can read what this was adapted from.
Yep.
I love that little corporate synergy they were doing there.
You know, and somebody was telling me that DC, they're not going to publish their old comics in omnibus
hate that.
form, which I'm like, wait, what? Because that's all I buy for DC is their omnibuses. But
Same.
I love their absolute editions, and I love their omnibuses. As a matter of fact, that's how I have the Invisibles omnibus and Transmetropolitan, the absolute edition, and a lot of the Vertigo books. I love those omnibuses.
Well, I know James Gunn, too, has talked about how he really wants to have really nice synergy throughout the comics, the animated series, television, films. So I'm hoping that they give the graphic novels themselves a little more respect than
Yes.
just not printing them like that. But time will tell.
Chris, I have a question.
Yes.
Does Swamp Thing talk or does he just grunt?
Oh, he
does he
talks.
speak?
He talks.
Okay, so Arash Safari in the live chat said, "What about Nick Offerman as Swamp Thing?"
I
How are
mean,
you feeling about that?
I wouldn't be mad about it.
You know, the thing with Swamp Thing that always got to me, and I think it's like nostalgia that made me like the newer one more, is if you look at Swamp Thing, the roots above his lip, clearly they look like a handlebar mustache to me. So, like, when I was younger and I watched the old Swamp Thing, I was a big fan of wrestling. So it always reminded me of Hulk Hogan. Like, that's Hulk Hogan.
I
That's
can see that, actually.
That's why I
awesome.
always thought it was Hulk Hogan underneath the thing. And also, swamps are a scary place. We need a hero there. So, like, I was like, perfect. I'm not scared of swamps anymore.
Yeah.
We got Swamp Thing.
Someone has to take care
Am
of
I
that
saying
menace
something
Shrek.
wrong,
Oh, yeah,
Taylor?
I just don't know if I was
You just
ever
mentioned-
consciously scared of swamps.
You just mentioned swamps, and then you said we need a hero. So holding out for a hero, you did 2 Shrek references back to back and didn't even realize it, right?
Oh,
I'd just like to point out that back in my early days of my career, I actually painted Swamp Thing masks for Dick Durock for the Swamp Thing TV series when I worked for Tony Gardner's Altarian Studios.
That's dope.
The same era that I was working on Army of Darkness and the Stephen King movie Sleepwalkers that
Robert
McGarris
Meyer Burnett
directed.
has had every job in Hollywood.
I've had every job in
Every
Hollywood. I
single
have.
one.
Tell you
What's
that.
growing up from his crotch here?
That was not.
Cordyceps?
That was not
That's
the.
what happens when you don't
That
use
is Dick
Manscaped.
Durock, but that was not the.
BRB, swiping right.
Not. Never mind.
No. All right, guys. Well, folks, let us know. Do you think Swamp Thing is going to return to the DCU now that we've got different folks involved? Or do you think Netflix could be that Vertigo hub like Ellis suggested? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. All right, y'all, with all that down and out of the way, we are going to get into your topics. But before we do that, we are first going to take a listen to one of our sponsors of the show, the good folks over at MasterClass.
We want to thank a sponsor of this video, MasterClass. MasterClass offers classes on a wide variety of topics, all taught by world-class instructors at the very top of their fields. Each class is broken out into individual video lessons, usually around 10 minutes long. And MasterClass is completely accessible on your phone, the web, smart TV, and available via audio mode to listen to classes on the go. They have over 2,500 video lessons from over 180 of today's most brilliant minds. They're all available anytime, anywhere on iOS, Android, desktop, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Now, obviously around here on the John Campea Show, we love our movies, so why not learn filmmaking from Jodie Foster, or maybe directing from Ron Howard himself, or the great Neil Gaiman doing his masterclass on the art of storytelling. And you guys have heard me talk about my favorite masterclass, Business Strategy and Leadership by Big Papa Iger himself, Bob Iger, the new and returning CEO of Disney. Guys, I highly recommend that you check it out. This holiday, give the perfect gift of an annual masterclass membership and get one free. Go to masterclass.com/Campea today. That's masterclass.com/Campea. Terms apply.
And thank you once again to MasterClass. Guys, check them out. I love them so much. The Gordon Ramsay one is so good. I know
is
how to
good.
take out all the bones from a chicken now. It's amazing. A chicken that's ready to be cooked, not a live one. That'd be very, very scary.
Although that'd be cool if you could do that too.
That would be wild. PETA would be on me, though. Woo.
Yeah, the chicken
Oh,
wouldn't
golly.
like it.
All right, y'all, we are going to get into your main topics. And how do we select those main topics? I'm so glad you asked. You pick them out. You can always go over and email them. It's absolutely free over at thejohncampeashow.com. Send us your topics, and if we deem them worthy, relevant, something we should talk about that's appropriate, maybe, just maybe, we'll talk about them here on the show. So, R&B, what do we got?
Well, Chris, we've got Rajan says, "Hi guys, it happened. Avatar: The Way of Water has passed Avengers: Infinity War at the worldwide box office, resulting in James Cameron having 3 of the top 5 highest-grossing films of all time. At the current rate, it should pass The Force Awakens, or as I like to call it, The Farce Awakens, by Friday night, making it 3 of the top 4. How significant is this, and how much further do you think it will go? Thanks, and bring on the filthy."
Oh, thank you so much, Rajan. I appreciate you writing that in. Well, they've done it. James has done it. It just keeps skyrocketing with Avatar 2. But I don't think anyone in this room is surprised, really. I feel like we've just kind of been this broken record of, yeah, it's going to hit 2 billion. Yeah, it's going to make it into the top 5. Yeah, it's going to get all these great box office accolades. I mean, Rob, what do you think of this?
I was expected.
Yeah.
I mean, we were always talking about how it was going to hit 2 billion. John was a little dubious,
Yeah.
but even he was like, could. You know, I never, first of all, James Cameron's never let anyone down. You know, and I think that,
Well, business-wise.
well, yes. Yes. I mean, his wives, Gail Ann Hurd, and I won't get into all, you know, Linda Hamilton, but anyway, but I think that this was expected. The movie is a crowd pleaser, and you know, the thing that it's a stealth family film. You know, it's about a family and a traditional family that also has an adoptive cousin and adoptive daughter and 2 sons. And I think that can't be, you know, not considered, because that's I think what connects with people. James Cameron has always connected with people on a very simple, primal level, and not just because they're natives, but the idea of a functioning family, a husband and wife who love one another, and a father who's present in their children's lives, and that's what this movie's about.
Must be nice.
I did not mean anything about that.
Must be nice.
I just think that that's part of the reason this movie has succeeded, and James Cameron always connects with people on that level.
Exactly. It's a Fast and the Furious, but with really good effects.
Meanwhile, at the Forest of Family.
Oh, at the Forest of Family? That's precious.
You know, I still haven't seen Avatar 2.
You still haven't?
So it's going to get my money next week. I think it needs to be in the top 3 in order for me to watch it. That's how I know it's good enough.
You know, I definitely think it's going to, I mean, it's very close. You're looking at, you're less than $20 million to overtake Star Wars The Force Awakens. I think that it's going to do that probably this weekend worldwide.
I love how you're not even trying to hide your feelings about how you feel about The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad because Force Awakens is like my favorite Star
Trek movie.
Star Wars movie.
Hey, you know what? There's no accounting for taste.
That
What
one.
can I say?
I'm with you, Ray. I'm a fan
You know what
of it.
though? I think it could, seeing these numbers, it's not that far away from Titanic.
No. Do you think it could take Titanic?
If they have a new Oscar push for it,
Yeah.
If
You know what, though?
they have a new marketing campaign to push, I think it could.
Next month, Titanic's being released in 4K 3D. So
How
I don't know.
crazy is that?
Yeah, I don't know that it can catch it because
It's
if
done,
it's
it's
about
over.
to catch it, and then the re-release of Titanic,
Do you
it's just
think-
the tip of the iceberg.
James Cameron competes with
They
himself.
wanna see that
at the
I was
3D
going to say,
Leo.
do you think he's
Yeah.
going to send himself little images like he kept doing with the Russo brothers?
Maybe. I mean, I would like to see that.
He's playing with himself now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He said it.
Ray. Phrasing.
You know what? I'm tamping down what I was about to say, but
Look at that filter kicking in today.
it kicked in.
Well, guys, the question here is up for you. Were you shocked to see that this took that place in box office history, or did you know this was coming? You just let us know in the comments down below. All right, with that down, let's get into main topic number 2. Rob, what is it?
Main topic number 2 comes from TJ Jordan. With Fast X just less than 4 months away from release, and surprisingly no trailer yet, I was thinking about the possibility of this film not making enough back to satisfy its insane budget, and how that will affect the future of the franchise if it doesn't. More specifically, Fast 11. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, and keep on bringing the filthy.
Thanks so much, TJ. Gosh, I'm so glad you asked this question on this day where I could be here, the Fast and Furious guru herself, making sure we get everything about family tied up in a nice little bow. I've only seen Hobbs and Shaw. I've still only seen Hobbs and Shaw. We really need to do that watch through of me just watching all of these.
Oh, yeah.
Completely blind with no knowledge aside from I know that Han needs justice of some sort.
Which he did not get in Fast 9.
Well, and-
they retconned his backstory. It was what they did to Han. I'm just happy he's back, but come on.
I'm very excited to be mad or not about that situation. Rob, how do you feel about this, though? I know some wacky things happened in the last one. There was something about space that you can fill me in on.
They went to space in a Fiero, in a Pontiac Fiero.
Did that stretch the bounds of your imagination?
Yes, the credulity was stretched. There was no verisimilitude in that. And they had like spacesuits that were duct taped together. And anybody
Duct tape
who's
can
a
fix
For All
anything.
Mankind fan knows
Yeah, we
what
know duct
happens
tape doesn't
when
work
you
out
wear
too well.
duct tape in outer space. It does not work for any length of time. And that was the first. Like, I love this franchise, and I really do. I genuinely love it because it knew what it was until Fast 9. It went too far, and that's so silly to say. But speaking of, I did get into an argument with a Star Trek actor once,
what?
Dr. Phlox, about this franchise.
Oh,
And I'll tell you,
Tell us.
he was having none of it. And I was literally explaining, and by the way, this was at the Soho House. So I was at the Soho House
oh,
having
you
this
fancy.
conversation. Yes, and I was defending the Fast and the Furious franchise and how it was a worthy franchise. But this was, to be fair, 10 years ago. Actually, it was in 2014. And we were working on the Enterprise Blu-rays. And I was eloquent about and passionate about my defense of this franchise. But it lost me. 8 was, but 9 lost me completely. It is, look, the Citizen Kane of this franchise is Fast 5. Fast 3, or as I just call it, the Drift, is the most underrated of the franchise because
when they're in Tokyo.
yeah,
Okay.
going to Tokyo with
Kind of thing.
Japanese
But I have a
girls.
question. I'm looking at these colors. behind them. Do they become the Power Rangers at the end?
Yeah, all
You
their
know-
cars form into one Megazord.
Oh, cool.
Hey,
I don't know if that's a spoiler or not.
I don't know. I love this franchise, but the movie cost $350 million. At least that's what's being reported.
That's wild.
And, as we know our box office math, I mean, conventional wisdom says a movie it has to gross 3 times what it costs to break even.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, studios they get half of the box office.
Yes.
Just think of it as half. So if you spend $350 million on a movie, and that there's marketing costs, which is very expensive. There's also studio overhead. The studio, they have to pay themselves for actually producing the movie.
Well, and these movies too just have a pantheon of who's now,
And
right?
also
They have
baby
so
oil.
many people. A lot of baby oil
lot
goes
of
into this
baby oil.
one.
Yeah,
a lot of glistening
Vin,
folks.
Vin needs to look so shiny. I tried to watch Fast 9 here the other day for the first time while doing segments. I put it up on that TV, and someone asked what I was watching, and then I told
You guys
them,
literally
and
watch
then
the
they
worst
walked
things
away.
on that TV.
Yeah, Ray, you
Yeah,
watch
if I'm
the
not
worst
watching
things on that
Velma,
TV.
I'm watching White Chicks or Fast 9.
or That 90s Show or
we
something
do need to be
terrible.
clear that none of us pick those shows.
Yeah, who
That's
picks
right.
those?
No,
Who
I
does
just
it,
wanted
Taylor?
to watch it. I turned it off after. I didn't even think it made it up to Morbius time for me. I think
Wow.
it was within 10 minutes. I said, "What the is this?" And I turned it off.
That whole
I didn't
opening
even pick something
sequence-
else. I just turned off the power off the TV and just turned it off.
I couldn't deal. It was there was no, and to say that there's verisimilitude in a Fast and Furious movie is a ridiculous thing to say, but there
This
is.
one looks really cool though. Which
Look,
one is
there's
this
duct
one?
tape spaceships from going, and they're in a Fiero.
So how
Do you believe that that's a space-worthy vessel that they're in right there?
It's got look at it's silver looking.
You got your NOS there, though.
Yeah,
you got
NOS will
NOS.
take you to the
And
moon,
Luda.
baby.
In
So-
case you want to
Really?
leave the gravitational pull of
all
the Earth.
things are possible
Did
with
they
Luda
really?
and duct tape.
Yes.
Oh, but they have earpieces, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And not only that, somehow they're going to be able to get out of that Fiero and apparently into the International Space Station. I'm not kidding, dude.
So it's very important, I take it, then, that this next film sticks the landing for this series to continue, or do you think they'll just keep running on fumes?
I think that this. I hope it sticks the landing. I want it to be good.
Yeah.
I want it to be good. You know what's good? Star Trek Picard season 3.
Okay.
Very good.
Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised.
And
we
by the
talked
way,
about
the first
Star
6
Trek.
episodes have been sent out to reporters, to the press. So there's people other than myself that know this already.
That's true. It's very exciting stuff. But are these cars going to stay on land? Are they going to go back to space? Do they need more NOS? You let us know in the comments down below, and let me know if I need to watch this series finally. I appreciate that.
I'm pretty sure the answer is no.
I'm pretty sure it too.
Just go up through 7.
Okay, I can do that. All right. With that down, Rob, what's our next topic?
Our next topic comes to us from Jeremiah. Hopefully there's going to be salvation here. Hi, John and crew. John, I know you weren't the biggest fan of the Obi-Wan series on Disney+, but I thought it was thrilling, and the ending was some of the best Star Wars I'd ever seen. I still acknowledge that it had its problems, though, but would you be open to watching a season 2? Ewan McGregor has been openly saying he wants to do it, and I think Disney will listen to him. What do you think?
Oh, thanks so much for writing that in, Jeremiah. So, are we going to get more Obi-Wan? Well, let's go see what Screen Rant had to say about this. During a convention appearance, McGregor said he believed Lucasfilm was biding its time before greenlighting a second season, seemingly confident an announcement would come. Speaking at the Disney Studio Awards, McGregor has now once again reaffirmed his desire for Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2, this time by saying, quote, "I was so happy to do it again, and so happy to work with Hayden again, and I hope we get the chance to do it again." All right. Well, you can love working on a project. You can really enjoy it. I've worked on a lot of things that I thought were just great, and we had a blast making it. And then the finished product comes out, and it really comes down to if the audience likes it. Now, I know that everything is subjective, and there were people who loved this Obi-Wan series. My husband's one of them. We are a house divided because I'm not. I feel like there were some big swings and misses in this one. A lot of things that just messed with continuity for me. A lot of things that, even though they did try to explain how this could be canon, still just seemed a little far-fetched or just kind of diluted certain relationships. But that's just my opinion. Rob, you hear this. Do you think there's any hope for Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I think there is hope that they'll make a new Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I, like you, look, there was a great lightsaber battle at the end. I thought that was cool. But I'm like, is that all we now want from Star Wars? I want compelling characters and a compelling narrative. You know, one of the reasons that I really loved Empire Strikes Back and saw it 26 times in the theater when it first came out,
Show off.
part of it was the training with Luke and Yoda. And I remember my 13-year-old brain was contemplative of the lessons that are in there. You know, look at me, judge me by my size, do you? Where you should not, because my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. I'm not going to do that. Yoda voice, you could probably do that better than me. No. But I want great Star Wars. And I'll tell you something, whether you liked Andor or not, I think anybody who likes Star Wars, anyone who's a fan of something, is very serious about being a fan of something. It means, Star Wars means so much to so many of us. Mm-hmm. And what we want serious-minded stories. And while I understand why they put young Leia in it, watching 9-year-old Leia running around and being obstinate, and that really, I'm like, this makes no sense to me. That why are you telling us this story? Well, there was not a little kid in Star Wars, Empire, or Jedi. And that, to me, Star Wars and Empire define what Star Wars is. And it's bizarre that they keep leaning into this kiddie aspect of things. And
I understand that the very first Star Wars film is very much a fairy tale that happens to be in space, right? There is some real beauty and everything to that. And it is a bit more family friendly, a few things aside, like people getting force choked and entire planets being destroyed.
Yeah, but billions of people die in the
when
first
you're little,
Star
you're just
Wars.
like, yeah, this seems fine. I don't care. But I have to agree that you can totally have young fans, old fans, new fans alike. You can give them really, really compelling, intricate storylines, and you don't have to dumb anything down for them. I was very confused, too, because it felt like we just kept going back we have to talk about every character we've ever had. And as we've talked about a lot on the show, ad nauseum really, is how this universe always feels so small. And thankfully, other shows like Mando and Andor have expanded it, because there have to be more people than the Vader family, right? There has to be other folks,
Keeping
other
up with
planets.
The Vaders.
Yeah, there has to be other planets other than Tatooine, since it's the dimmest star, right? I never understood why we followed around a young Luke whose life was in danger, because we know how that's going to turn out.
I don't understand it.
And what Andor's done really well, in my opinion, is it's given us real moments of drama where we get really invested in these characters who we have no idea how life turns out for them. So if Obi-Wan Season 2 can give us more of that, and we had a few moments of that for sure. We had some tertiary characters who I was really invested in, and if they perished, it was very, very heartbreaking. I think that's what we need more of.
I agree.
I just want to know what he's hiding under that coat. So I'm going to tune in next season.
That sticks.
But as for getting more Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor is great as Kenobi.
Oh, he's wonderful.
And one of the things that I was missing from the Kenobi show is that here's a man who's been broken every way a man can be. His faith was broken. His entire belief system swept away, gone. And in a way, it kind of, and the storyline should have been about him rediscovering. Of course, he's overseeing Luke, but I wanted to see somebody re-energized. He didn't have enough agency himself. Ooh. I wanted to see a transformation of Obi-Wan through. And there's a Kenobi book that they could have adapted that I thought was. It's a pretty good book. I wanted to see something more. I wanted to see a personal journey.
Episod 1 set you up for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it did.
It was like, phenomenal. Oh, this is what you're going to get. And
love
it's setting you up for an arc.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, God.
I mean, he let a fellow Jedi die.
Yeah.
Get hunted down and hung. And I'm like, I don't buy that. That to me is, and this is, I think one of the real problems is the writing. I mean, I have the same problem with Star Trek as I do with Star Wars. You've got to have the writing is great. It's got to be great.
Take your shot, everyone. All right, guys, you let us know in the comments down below.
Shots.
Do you think that there is going to be a season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, or is Obi-Wan Kenobi completely out of hope? You let us know what you think down below. All right, with that down, Rob, what else we got?
Well, let's see. We've got from Frankie Cochran. Hey, John and crew. I listen to the podcast every day when I'm driving, and it's better than radio.
Aw, thanks.
Keep it up. Read an article from IGN where Tobey Maguire has said that if he was asked to return as Spider-Man, he would say yes. What are the chances we see him back? In a world where Hugh Jackman can return as Wolverine, I actually think it's possible. But what are your thoughts? Thanks.
Breaking, actor has bills to pay.
Yeah. I was going to say, thank you, Frankie, very much. Thank you for listening to us every morning, too. Of course, we sound better than the radio. We got this guy's voice.
Oh, my.
Exactly.
I could put on my radio voice.
There you go. So soothing.
This is for you.
Now, let's head over to Variety to see what Tobey had to say about this. I love these films, and I love all of the different series, Maguire said. If these guys called me and said, would you show up tonight and hang out and goof around? Or would you show up and do this movie or read a scene or do a Spider-Man thing? It would be a yes, because why wouldn't I want to do that? Yeah, why wouldn't you want to be Spider-Man? Why wouldn't you want to be a paid working actor? That's how I feel about it. I mean, whenever we see these things, I know there's certain actors who do like to move on. You know, we have people who have been in the MCU for years and years, and they respectfully hang up the cape and go on to other projects. But Tobey was away from Spider-Man for quite a while, you know, didn't necessarily get to complete the story that they were thinking of. Same with Andrew Garfield, and then got to come back, had this wonderful, wonderful reception for Spider-Man No Way Home in his lovely little pastor outfit and everything. Why wouldn't he want to be back? But do people want him to come back? I feel like a lot of folks do. How about you, Rob?
Kraven the Hunter.
Ooh.
Come on. He's just admitting.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Look, I don't know. I don't know.
Here first.
I have no knowledge. It's not like Secret Invasion where I already read the scripts. No, I don't know. I'm just making. That was just a joke. Don't.
No.
Quote him.
No.
Don't quote me, bro.
But no, don't quote me, bro. No, but I think that why wouldn't you? I mean, here's the thing. It's not like Tobey Maguire didn't want to do Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man 3 was hugely expensive. There was a story when I was covering Superman Returns. Producer Gil Adler was in the room, and this is during post-production, and he gets this phone call. And it was, I don't know if it was Amy Pascal or somebody, and I'll never forget this. I'm sitting across from him in his office, and he picks up the phone, and he's literally like looking at the phone, and he's listening. He's like, $300 million? Well, how did that happen? No. And then he kind of hung up the phone, and they wanted him to come fix. The production had ballooned up to $300,000 because he was producing Superman Returns. They wanted him to come do it.
That's what I tell my collectors, too.
These are expensive movies to make.
Yeah. It did well at the box office. It made $895 million.
Yes.
But it also wasn't particularly well received. People loved the visual effects, and thank goodness, since it was so expensive.
Well, also, famously, the studio wanted Sam Raimi to do things that they wanted so they could merchandise, and they didn't let him make the movie that he wanted necessarily to make. And I think that a Spider-Man 4 could have been great, but again, these movies, the budget's balloon. If you could get Tobey Maguire, and you wouldn't have to pay him $50 million or however much you'd have to pay him. I mean, I'm not saying they would, but if they could keep the costs down, and I think that they could, why not? You know, if you make a genre movie now, a studio picture at 125 to 150 million, like I don't understand why they don't make Star Trek movies for 125 million dollars, because if you can't do that, you can't make you have no business making a Star Trek movie. But if you could keep the price down, why not?
And also, like, was he referring to Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland in that quote where he's like working with these guys?
Hold on, let me read this quote again because this is very interesting to me.
Oh, okay. I mean, Ray was talking, but yeah, go for it.
No, go ahead.
Well, the quote is very interesting. If these guys called me and said, would you like to show up tonight and hang out and goof around? What does that mean?
So he
Do
obviously
a cameo. What were you saying, Ray?
He's talking about the two other actors, right? I just think that's nice if he was.
Potentially, or he could
You
be
mean when he
talking about
says
the
these guys?
producers.
These guys.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's nice to know that all the Spider-Men that we have get along.
They get along great.
They get along.
Yeah.
They have wonderful, wonderful
They
chemistry.
have solidarity. One Spider-Man for all.
Let me ask you this, though. If we did get Tobey Maguire back, just based on what we know from No Way Home, he and MJ did end up together, right? They're a couple. What kind of story would you want to see?
You know what? With Tobey Maguire, he's pushing. Well, he's in his mid-40s. What happens when a superhero comes to the end of his life? Maybe his powers are waning.
Not at 40.
And he realized. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's going to be, and maybe he's got kids. You know, he's got kids that
We might have Mayday Parker.
We might have that. And what does a superhero do when they realize that their responsibility to their family supersedes their responsibility to the public at large? And what if he had to grapple with the fact that I can't be Spider-Man anymore?
So you're talking like a Spider-Man No More type of thing?
Yeah, we've seen that cover. that
Yeah.
famous, Spider-Man no more when he's walking away. But I think that's a superhero story to tell because we've never really seen that.
Yeah, well, and that also provides a really lovely segue into that mentorship with Miles Morales, especially since Sony still has a lot of these Spider-Man rights. We still don't really know where a Tom Holland Spider-Man's going to end up. And we also, for me, just speaking for myself, Tom Holland isn't old enough to mentor someone right now. His life is in shambles. He needs to learn how to become a photographer. He has to do so many other things.
Yeah.
So I think a Tobey Maguire mentorship could make sense for ushering in that Miles Morales character. That way, too, you do have the, hey, I can show up, do a little bit of stuff, have a more kind of supporting role in this film, and have some other young buck step forward.
I mean, I thought it was really interesting in Endgame when you saw Tony Stark. He'd basically given up after the Thanos snap and was raising his family.
Yeah.
I really liked that portrayal of him and how he was when they came to try and recruit him to go help fix our, let's go back in time. And I could have seen, I mean, I'm not saying it's not the kind of thing that audiences respond to necessarily watching a superhero in civilian life, but if it could be done well and there's a good reason for it and you have maybe, like you said, becoming a mentor, that could be pretty compelling.
So you guys would be down for like 2 Spider-Man movies?
I'd be down for 3
universes.
I literally would
on
be down.
opposite sides of the spectrum.
I would watch all of them.
I
yeah.
would be down for 3. I'd be down for Garfield coming back,
Love him.
Toby, and the current MCU Sony thing.
Yeah.
Because it's established that they are separate universes and those universes connected. So now you can go on and do that.
Exactly. Well, and for most people who grew up reading the comics too, you usually had multiple Spider-Man series going concurrently too.
Yeah.
So you'd have Amazing and Spectacular, or all those kinds of things, and they were always different iterations of it. So I think movie-going audiences too could have those kind of pocket universes and go, oh, this is the Spider-Man I can expect this from. Sort of what we've talked about with DC as well, with having the multiple Batman or multiple Jokers. They're just kind of all Elseworlds or other realities. But guys, what do you think? Do you think we will have Tobey Maguire back as Spider-Man? Would you be okay with having multiple Spider-Men in different universes and different films? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. All right, y'all, we are going to open up our super chats and we are going to hear from you all directly. But before we do that, we're going to hear from 2 more sponsors. We're going to hear from the folks over at Manscaped and Mint Mobile.
Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Breaking news, Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right, they are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet by going to manscaped.com and using the code Campea for 20% off and free shipping. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a juggernaut of fixing faces. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. You also get the beard shampoo and conditioner. Because guys, you gotta remember that all of your hair is different. Your beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair on your head. Next, the kit has Manscaped's beard oil. The oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath. You then cap it off with the Beard Balm that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and tames for a sculpted look. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 special gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Campea. Manscaped Beard Hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save money this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, I have told you before that when I was on one of the major phone carriers, I was spending literally 3 times as much every month, and switching to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier. So for people just looking to save some extra money this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in just minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.
And thank you to Manscaped and Mint Mobile for supporting this show. All right, guys, we are going to look at your super chats now. Rob, what do we have?
Let's
Well,
see.
Right
We've
now, we got me.
Jonathan, hi.
Hey.
Hello, there's X-Men there. Is that James Argenta's first one up?
Yes.
James says, I think Obi-Wan will be back in an Obi-Wan anthology show. Every episode about a different adventure he went on between series and episode 4.
I mean, that could work. That could be interesting.
The thing about an anthology show when it comes to Star Wars is that it's very expensive to produce a show that has a bunch of different locations. That's why a lot of these science fiction shows, especially these Star Wars shows, they're not cheap to produce. That's why they use the volume so much. But it could, I mean, I would love to see a like Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like that, the Dark Horse
Love
comic.
Tales of the Jedi.
I think that'd be dope. It'd just be expensive. If they could figure out a way to do it production wise, maybe they could, but
Yeah.
I'd like to
Shoot
see
on
something like that.
Tatooine.
I think it'd be cool.
All right.
Matt Sanders sends in a $20 super chat.
Thank you, Matt.
That thumbnail got me, Ray. Just because it's so bizarre of a Photoshopped Tobey Spider-Man. So thanks,
It's like
Ray.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. That's our Universal Monster Spider-Man. You're going to hear from Tobey Maguire. What the hell's this?
All talks of him coming back immediately dismissed. They're
Yeah.
like, we saw a thumbnail, man.
Oops.
We didn't do it.
Orange Hand says, Leia, you're not actually going into an asteroid field. Han, what's the problem? You should feel right at home. Chewie, dude.
Horrible. No, that was great. Oh.
Wait, can you do it one more time because it's Friday?
Wonderful.
Well, that was it. That was right off the top of my
like
head.
it.
It's
I'm
pretty
here
good,
for
right? Al Renshaw says, send Rob your scripts about ideas for Spider-Man 4. Please don't. No scripts. Don't
Oh
send
my
me ideas.
gosh.
I can't read your scripts legally. No, I
but
can't.
he can read your fan fiction. So send it over.
Yeah. Yes. Please do. Especially if it's slash fiction.
It's crazy that you do it for free. It's so crazy that
Well, he offers a nice service to everybody.
True.
Yeah.
They call him the script doctor.
That's right. Al Renshaw says, I might see Puss in Boots or Top Gun Maverick for a 4th time this weekend. Puss in Boots was magical with great characters and
Okay.
quite funny.
Was this actually Taylor?
Yeah, I was going to say, Al Renshaw, thank you. But did you do this for Taylor? Taylor, you
Don't
want to
you have
talk more
anything
about
to say
Puss in
about that?
Boots?
You wanna
I've only seen it
opine?
twice in theaters. I need to catch up.
Oh, man.
I like that there's an or. Or? What do you mean Puss in Boots or? Just do Puss in Boots the 4th time. Do it. You won't regret it.
It
By the way, I
really is
liked your
lovely.
review of Fear that you did on your channel.
Oh, thank you. There were no screaming babies in the background this time. so I
That
didn't
movie
have
sounds
to
terrible.
jump off the balcony because I
I'm
was
very
pissed.
sad it was bad.
It's fun.
Go
yeah.
see
Oh,
Infinity
the movie
Pool.
wasn't fun, but doing the review was fun.
It's fun.
Nice.
It's good.
I'm glad it was fun.
Yes, very fun.
Mark Newman sends in a super chat and says, do you think once that The Last of Us runs out of source story that they'll end the show there, or Game of Thrones it and keep rolling? Or should they?
Well, you know, the creators have actually talked about this, how they very much believe in endings. Now, it might divert from the path we've seen in the games, but I don't think they would do too much more story after that, because both of these guys seem to like very contained stories. And I think them working as a team too, you know, when something loses its spark. We've seen that with some other shows. Another zombie series comes to mind that kind of overstayed its welcome.
What zombie show is that, Chris?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think that this should not surpass, for me, 3 seasons. Because there's not really, you could do other stories in this world, but not with these characters.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I think if you were, that's exactly it. You don't do it with these characters, but you tackle other regions, other
Yeah.
issues. Yeah.
Was there DLC for The Last of Us? And if so, is that something that they could do a
No,
season
but
on?
you know what they're doing? They're doing like online gameplay now for The Last of Us is what I'm hearing. And you can do like factions and stuff in that world.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
The
very,
life of
very
a
cool.
clicker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The OK Channel. Would you watch the OK Channel?
It's all right.
Fine.
What about the OK Corral channel? I just want Sam Raimi to make the Sinister Six movie of his dreams.
I would love that for Sam.
The OK channel, that's a very good idea. I'd love to see that too.
Yeah, that's a more than okay idea, bud.
It is more than an okay
Let's
idea.
just
like
get
that one.
500 million though.
Yeah.
To fund
Let's
it.
just get some money.
But I'd rather see that Sinister Six iteration than what they were pulling in the Amazing Spider-Man with the
Oh,
Oscorp.
yeah.
I just didn't like that direction.
No, same here.
Sylvester Young says, was good, Batman Beyond crew.
Hey.
With all the Elseworlds movies and shows about, do you think there could be a Justice League Unlimited anthology TV series for HBO Max? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
We're talking to animated?
Same kind of situation that you brought up here with Obi-Wan for doing this. It'd be very, very expensive. They kind of did a little bit of this with the Justice League Unlimited animated series, where we had different kind of slice of life moments with various members.
That was a great show.
That was awesome.
So good.
It was so good. Ray, who was your favorite character on it?
I actually like the Adam guy.
Yeah.
Adam's
He ended
good.
up being one of my favorite guys there.
And they brought in a lot of DC characters.
Yeah, a lot of weird ones
It
would
was
come in
good.
there like you've never even heard of if you
Yeah.
didn't follow the comics. It was great.
It was great.
When
Loved
watching that show made me start reading Hunter's comics, and I freaking love her now.
it. Yep.
Oh, it's so well done. So you could do something like that and really delve into kind of more of your B-sides, I suppose, or explore those Elseworld stories. But again, I think it just comes down to cost.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Again, superheroics are expensive to show on screen.
Very.
And then you have to have costumes and actors. And
Mm-hmm.
how do you pay? Like, if you're going to cast somebody as a superhero, how many episodes do you book them for? I mean, can you bring them back?
Yeah.
It'd be fun to see, though.
Mm-hmm.
You could block shoot it, I guess. Lucky BX says, forget Chucky. I want to see a match between Megan and Vicky the robot from Small Wonder.
Dude, she was creepy.
It is Small Wonder. I am Vicky. I'd like to see that, too. Megan would kick her ass.
I'm not familiar with that robot. No,
You don't know Small
Oh,
Wonder?
yeah. Oh, she hit that one borderline again where she...
I'm not old enough,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
okay.
Man,
Chris-
be lucky.
I'm in a weird pocket.
Yeah, you're
Small
in a weird
Wonder.
pocket.
Yeah, no. You
But I
wouldn't
mean,
like that show?
Just look at her soulful
There's Small
eyes.
Wonder. There
Oh.
she
That's a
is.
doll?
Oh,
No, I mean she's human, but
Oh.
she is a spooky looking kid, though.
Well,
That
she's
looks like a
frowning.
little Victorian ghost who's going to haunt you.
She looks so pixelated.
Why?
What the heck?
Oh, my goodness.
What the heck is going... What the heck?
this was her friend.
I love that you left Rob on the screen.
Okay.
He just
What?
revealed what-
I realized, but it's actually more funny. Okay, we're moving on.
Oh, my God.
Wraith X7
Y'all.
Good move, bro. Good move. Let's move on.
says, have you heard that Cowboy Bebop creator Shinichiro Watanabe hated the Netflix live action series?
I did hear that, and that's a shame. A lot of people hated it. Some other people, I'm a little more okay with it. I think some things that they did on the show were a real wonderful transition from anime to live screen. But I get it. Cowboy Bebop didn't need a live action remake. That show is perfect.
It is perfect.
It's gorgeous. I listen to that soundtrack all the time. I love it so much. It is displayed right next to my steelbook of Belle. I have my signed copy from Steve Bloom of Cowboy Bebop and my Belle steelbook right next to each other.
I have a 4 CD set of the soundtrack from Cowboy Bebop. It is awesome. Do you know what I heard or I read something the other day that I just love? I put it into my head canon.
What?
That Jordan Peele's movie Nope is actually a prequel to Evangelion. That the spoiler alert, but the antagonist in that film is an angel. If you're right?
That makes it so much cooler.
I can't unsee that now. I'm like,
I'm gonna rewatch that now with that in my mind.
boy,
That's dope,
it is dope. And
I
I'm
like
like,
that a lot.
Jordan Peele,
man.
he made a stealth sequel to Evangelion. I love it.
I'm gonna listen to it with some of the Evangelion soundtrack then too. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
I'm telling
That's
you.
what I'm gonna do with my Sunday.
Because I love, give me my, actually, have you seen the new Evangelion movies?
I haven't.
The 4th one is absolutely bonkers. Totally worth seeing. I know this is a
check it out.
complete aside.
Yeah.
What's next?
A lot of times too, I mean, just to go back to this, creators, obviously are very, very controlling of their own original content. If you mess it up, I think you get the right to be pretty pissed about it.
It's true.
The
that is
Avatar
true.
guys have walked away from 2 series or 1 movie in a series. So, are y'all okay? What happened?
We're fine. Just move
Lord.
They're our technical crew is laughing their asses off.
It's
Lamau.
fine.
It's fine. We're good.
From Sin Vendetta.
Sin Vendetta says, Creus, Rob, GoldenEye 64 dropped last night on Xbox and Switch, and I know you both are excited to play it. I got in about an hour and a half last night, and it's just as great as it was back in the 90s.
Here's part 2. Let's see. Oh, that's in Vendetta. Here's
there
part
we go.
2. Here's part 2.
And it feels so much better to control on the dual analog Xbox controller than it was on the N64 controller. You all should do a GoldenEye play in chat. That would be fun to watch. Well, Sin Vendetta.
Yeah, it's funny
Aren't
you
you
say
lucky?
that.
Great minds think alike, because that's
That's what we're
exactly
doing
what we're
today.
doing later today. So tune in.
Yeah.
I haven't played that game in 25 years. It'll
Make
be,
sure you hit the bell so
Yeah.
that you get notified when we're going live.
That's right. We're going to play some GoldenEye. Are we going to unlock any of those villains? We'll see.
Probably not.
I
I don't
don't
have high
think
hopes
so.
for us.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Slappers only.
It's just going to be two olds trying to play a game.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, even if we all suck, someone's got to win.
That's
Can you
true.
imagine
True.
no one actually kills somebody? We're that bad?
I really hope it's just an hour of us being like, where the
No.
fuck are you?
No,
Wait, I can't.
it's going to
Oh,
be
we're on
good.
the same map?
We do have to practice before we go live. Just
Yeah,
'cause
we'll do like a
Do
practice
you guys
run.
know slappers only though? I know my glasses are gone.
What's
Something
up?
happened.
Slappers.
Slappers only is where there's no guns and you just go around slapping each other.
That's right. I forgot about that.
We should do that game.
I forgot about that. You
That's
just hit. It's just like this.
I'm down for that.
James Argenta says, one problem I have with Tobey's Spidey movie is his age. I always see Spider-Man between 15 to 25 if Miles is there. But I think that I agree with you, James, and I think that's why it could be an interesting film, because we see an older Spider-Man, not like the Spider-Man that was in, not the Peter Parker that was in Into the Spider-Verse, but a real somebody who's really going to hang up their spurs.
Yeah. One, it's lovely to see the dynamic of a more big brother kind of mentorship, right? And you have that in the Spider-Man game, for example.
Yeah.
That is one of the best Spider-Man storytelling adaptations. But I think it'd be really lovely to have that kind of mentorship that Peter got from Tony Stark, right? To have that kind of age difference where it does feel more familial, more fatherly, like somebody who has had a lot of time and seasoning
Yep.
to have some insight to help this young man on his own journey before he exits his.
I agree. I think that could be a really compelling story.
Yeah.
Or he might be being hunted by Kraven the Hunter. or not.
Or not. Probably not.
Probably
Maybe.
not. You never know. Come play with us.
Yay.
Come play with us. Come
I know
play.
it's true. Joshua McGregor says, I need Ewan McGregor to do a season 2. Wait. Joshua McGregor says, I need Ewan McGregor. Are they like relatives?
No relation.
Are you getting a job for your brother? I need Ewan McGregor to do a season 2 to take care of me and the rest of the McGregor family. Oh, well, there's your joke. I just killed it. Sorry. Bring on the filthy. I didn't mean to do that, Joshua. I want to thank you for supporting the channel.
I love that was just a stumble of, oh, your punchline. Oh, okay.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now I feel bad.
That's okay.
I apologize.
Sometimes it's best to just move on.
The real James Gunn, not Guzman. Hi, y'all. I was waiting for Mr. C to be out to finally announce the Batman Beyond live action movie. You heard it here first.
I would so love if James Gunn dropped his slate right meow and had Batman
refreshing.
Beyond there. I would run around this studio. I would scream, I told you so many times.
It would be a glorious day.
Yeah.
Another glorious day in the core.
We would get real shithoused over here.
Oh, man, it'd be so much fun. Because we made it happen.
Yeah.
We single-handedly would have been responsible for that movie.
No one else made this happen.
James Gunn watches this show, obviously, and he's waiting to announce it because
Yeah.
he knew we were going to be here.
Yeah.
The Batman Beyond crew.
Exactly.
I'd like to believe that.
And then we'd all get cameos.
Taylor, have they announced anything yet?
I keep refreshing. My glasses are back. Who put it? Haunted Autumn, I think, in the live chat said Taylor laughed so hard his vision got fixed. Sorry, it's just when you were up on the picture or up on the screen with the whatever that doll. What was the doll?
Would you look how terrifying this
No,
show
I don't want
was?
to. Okay,
No.
Look at the top, that mask. I remember this episode as a kid.
Was that are those
Look at that
older
mask.
versions of her?
That is small wonder.
Look at the mask at the top.
That's my dad.
Wow. Anyway.
My dad and his secret family.
Yeah.
Mr. Hank Dunn sends in a super chat. Thank you for the support, Hank. Suthius says, I handle violence very well, whether mild or grotesque. However, there is one movie scene that no matter how many times I watch it, it's always hard to watch, and that is the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
yeah.
well, it's so
It's rough.
realistic.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. It does a really good job of showing you the atrocities of war.
And I mean, that opening scene's probably responsible for the entire Call of Duty franchise.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, incredible.
Yeah. From
Stubble McShave says, Chris, season 2, episode 4 of Vox Machina have light eye violence.
Stubble, thank you for the heads up. I am woefully behind on Vox Machina. I think I watched the first 3 episodes of season 1, and then I had a whole bunch of other shit to watch and do, and so I haven't caught up.
Stubble, thanks for the. I know
Yeah.
Stubble. Thank you for the warning. That was very,
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
sweet of
gallant.
you.
Very
Yeah, I
gallant.
like when you guys warn me about stuff like that. I very much appreciate it. There's a website I believe called The Dog Dies or something like that, where you can find out violence, animal deaths, things like that. Because I thought of you, Ray, where it was, am I going to watch this? Let's find out if I have to get emotionally invested in an animal that's going to be killed.
But then Ray would look at that website and just get mad anyway.
Yeah.
That's true. But for me,
Bambi's
I can
mom.
go and I can find out if people get their eyes gouged out or things like that. Thanks.
You should see Lucio Fulci's Zombie one day.
No.
You should.
No.
Chris Schneider says, I enjoyed the movie, but the opening scenes of The Last of Us make me think that this is what World War Z could have been. I love that book. Ugh, Chris, you are so right. That Chris. The book.
I knew.
Oh, okay, you knew. World War Z. First of all, I understand why people love audiobooks. I like reading, but
What a weird brag.
I know, right? I love the audiobook for World War Z because World War Z, the book is like it's a survivor's account of the zombie wars,
Yeah.
and it was written by Mel Brooks' son Max, and it's fantastic. But I think Mark Hamill is one of the actors. They have actors. It's so good. If you're zombie fans, get the audiobook of World War Z and check it out because it's awesome.
Oh, yeah. This is a stacked cast.
It's
oh my
awesome.
gosh. Simon Pegg's in it. Mark
It's-
Hamill, Rob Reiner, Nathan Fillion, Simon Pegg.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's great. Ooh.
Get it, read it, love it.
I'll start listening to that on the drive here.
Jared Vester just says, I love all of you.
We love you, Jared. Thanks, man. That's
And he
sweet.
says it just like that.
He says it just like that?
I love all of you.
Aww.
Thank you, Jared. I appreciate that. Nbang says alternate dark timeline. Momoa is cast as Mr. Mixolytic.
Fix it.
Jason Momoa, he's too big.
You need somebody who has an impish charm. He has an impish charm, but you also need somebody who's a little svelte, a little light on their feet.
Yeah.
Justin Long.
Yes.
Justin Long actually would be great. I know you just suggest him all the time, but he'd actually be wonderful.
Yeah, and you just
Eventually
do
it'll
it.
hit.
You do forced perspective like in Lord of the Rings to make him smaller.
Yeah. Oh, he'd be precious. Now it's what I want.
KC McGrew sends in a super chat and says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to ask if y'all have seen the Saw Wolf. Oh, if you've seen the Saw Wolfpack or seen Wolfpack on Paramount Plus, it's really good, and it's based off a book, and is from the creator of the show Teen Wolf. Is this the Sarah Michelle Gellar show?
I think so. Taylor, have you seen this?
No, I haven't seen it, but when I was putting together the What Streaming document, it was one of the things I put. It's Paramount Plus. Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I miss her, so I'm not going to watch it, but I miss her.
I miss her too. I always watch Cruel Intentions when I need my Sarah Michelle Gellar fix. She's great in that movie.
It's so shocking. What a surprise that is the film you go to.
Hey, it's got Ryan Phillippe. It's got Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Come on. I love that movie. And it's got a great soundtrack.
It does.
John Chung says, "Hi, crew. Ellie was eating a sandwich bread, and neither Joel or Tess wanted a piece. Another way to show her immunity. Psyched for Ant-Man 3. That's absolutely a way to show her immunity.
It could be. It very, very, very well.
They're very cool about that on the
Yeah.
show.
Well,
But they did say that lady packed her lunch for her.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I'm wondering at this point in time too, if it is contaminated breads, like flour, sugars, and things like that initially happened. If people then started, I don't know, remanufacturing, or if
It
they
must
stayed
be because
away.
why would you then bake that bread?
Yeah. Why would you keep it?
Yeah.
On file
Especially
for
it's been
one
20
child.
years.
Yeah.
In the end, sent a super chat to quote Rob, bruh. Bruh.
You gotta do it with your same gusto though, your same chutzpah.
Bruh.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone wearing headphones. I'm sorry. Johnny sends in a super chat and says, maybe a top 5 or 10 of Stanley Kubrick movies. Well, I mean,
Go for it.
let's see. Now, I don't know if this is in any order, but if you just name Stanley, start with The Killing. Go from The Killing, Spartacus, Lolita, Doctor Strangelove, 2001, A Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, Eyes Wide Shut. How about that?
Bam.
But if you wanted to go in order, I mean, it's tough because it depends a lot of people love The Shining. I think The Shining is lesser Kubrick.
Yeah.
And I think Barry
And
Lyndon
it's not
is
a great
upper
adaptation.
Kubrick. I mean, I would say that Kubrick's best films are probably 2001, Doctor Strangelove, A Clockwork Orange, and Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
But then
And The Shiny's not even on there. You didn't like the adaptation?
No, but I like all of Kubrick's films.
I like it for what it is, but I also saw the movie and then I read the book and went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why you don't read. That's the lesson learned.
You know,
That's terrible. Leonardo
start getting ideas and thinking.
Leonardo Goulian, when budgeting the whole film costs for back-to-back productions, is it usually cheaper to do it that way? Talking about Fast 10 and 11. Well, it is. I mean, what you're doing is you're amortizing the costs between both movies. Like TV shows do it that way.
Yes.
You know, they like a science fiction show, when you're starting a new Star Trek series, you have to build all the sets, right? You have to build the Enterprise sets. That is an upfront cost that is costly, but what you do is then you split those costs out over however many episodes you're going to make. And if you're doing two movies, you can make it work that way, and a savvy production team can save you money, especially because you have the same cast, the same cars, and you treat it as one production. But the problem is that's not something Hollywood does for movies very often.
No.
It doesn't happen. I mean, otherwise they should have shot Dune 1 and 2. It doesn't make any sense to me that they didn't do that. But they didn't know if Dune was going to make any money or enough money to warrant a second film. I mean, there are very few people that are willing to roll the dice the way Bob Shea did when he greenlit the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
So it's not something, because each movie that gets made is a business unto itself. It has its own LLC, and then that business is then purchased by the studio that made the movie. It's very interesting, but doing two movies, that's a lot of money to borrow, a lot of money. Although I think they should do it. Matrix 2 and 3, Matrix Reloaded, and Matrix Revolutions was done that way, but it's not done very much. I don't know why though. Too expensive, I guess. D. Murdoch says, how hyped are you for Daredevil Born Again? I'm super hyped, but a bit worried. What are you looking for in the show, and do you think John Barenthal's Punisher will return, possibly Midnight Suns?
Ooh.
The Punisher is a pretty brutal character to bring into
To Disney Plus.
And what's happened is, in the wake of the riots of a couple of years ago and the iconography having law enforcement adopt the Punisher icon, I don't know.
And which is a shame, because John Bernthal was phenomenal in this role. So great. But you do have to make a lot of adjustments. One, for the streaming service that it's on. And I don't think they're going to completely, sunshine up Daredevil. I don't think it's going to be a light and fun comedy. We've talked about this too a whole bunch, that I think we're still getting that kind of brutal Daredevil that we know and love. Just maybe we'll dial back the blood splatters or things like that. But I don't think you can have a Punisher in this political climate after that, to your point, nor can you have it on the House of Mouse.
You know what? I will say right now, Punisher is on Disney Plus. The Netflix series.
The Netflix series is on
currently
Disney
there.
Plus?
I just looked right now, yeah.
It's happening.
Ooh.
There you go. Well,
they dropped those things pre-Iger.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, now that Papa Iger's back, how those shows are going to be portrayed on the streamer, right? Are we going to finally have the fully blockaded off, you have to have a password to get access to these? Are they going to stay on there for a long time or be removed? Because Iger, he is very, very big on Disney properties being family friendly. It is the one thing that I thought Chapek really, really nailed, of we can expand what a Disney show is. We can cater to different markets. We have fans of Disney from all ages. And Iger was very, very focused on making sure that things maintained that family friendly brand across all things. So moving forward with things, if he's there for a longer time, I don't know.
Is it behind a parental? Do you have to have a parental code or something to watch Daredevil? I mean, to watch Punisher? Or is it just?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't have parents.
No.
Oh, come on.
No,
I don't know.
Womp.
I don't know. Oh no, the crickets. I don't know if they can hear that though.
Oh, they can hear it.
They can hear it.
There's crickets in here now.
Cyan 10101 sends in a super chat and said, "Did you ever check out Pantheon? Paul Dano voiced a character in that too. The Year of Dano. I have not checked out Pantheon. What is Pantheon? Is that an animated series?
I'm looking it up right now. Pantheon series.
Pantheon.
Keep your pantheons on. She's looking it up.
Keep your pantheons on. I love that word though. I love like the idea of the pantheon of the gods kind of a thing.
Ooh, I have friends who worked on this one. This is an AMC show.
Oh.
Okay, because now that I'm looking at the cast, I'm like, oh, I know about this. Okay. I have not watched it yet. I need to.
Is it live action?
It's an animated series that premiered in September on AMC Plus.
Oh, see, that's the problem right there.
Yeah.
John doesn't subscribe to
doesn't have-
Yeah.
He doesn't have
therefore, you
AMC
don't
Plus,
have.
and therefore, yeah, I don't have AMC Plus.
So the Aura streaming services don't carry it?
No, man, I'm pretty disappointed.
They have a pretty tight deal with the Campea Plus contract, so they can't really go outside of that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, because it's a show that they did with Titmouse. So
Oh.
I'm excited about it.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
do great stuff. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Easy.
DeReal James Gunn, not Guzman. Send Rob your Batman Beyond scripts. No, please don't do
There
that.
is no need because he's read Batman Beyond Neo Year.
That's right. That's
And that's
there's
what
the
we're
script.
gonna adapt.
Yeah, Batman Beyond Neo Year is what we're doing here. We're going to announce
Yeah.
it on Sunday.
We didn't want to say anything, but since it is Rob and I over here, we've been working on the Neo Year.
We're going to do a
script.
sweeted version of it. It'll be great.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Why not? Juho Kajima sends in a super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wonder if you're any relation. Jermaine King says, John's gone. So Chris, I'm buying up ad time for you to promote your voice acting class and any upcoming promotions that are coming up. Well, Jermaine King, that was very,
That's sweet of you, Jermaine.
to do.
Oh, thank
So
you so
here,
much.
the floor is yours.
Oh, wonderful. Well, on February 18th, I have an Intro to VO bootcamp coming up that I've partnered with EEB Studios. So you can go to eebstudios.com and you can sign up for that bootcamp. It's about 4 hours. I talk you through commercials, video games, animation, talk to you about some basic equipment you can get, casting sites, that sort of thing, just to get you kind of dipping your toes in the water of pursuing voiceover as a potential career. I also do audition coaching. My husband does one-on-one Intro to VO coaching. He also does dialect classes. That's all through our studio, speakfriendstudio.com. And if you want to do any of that stuff, hit us up. Thanks, Jermaine. That was sweet of you.
That was very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Wraith X7 says, have you guys seen the trailer for We Have a Ghost? I have. If you have, what did you think of it? David Harbour is a ghost. Did you not like the trailer?
I think it looks really stupid.
No.
What?
I think it looks really bad.
Oh,
and I
man.
love David Harbour. I love him so much. Somewhere Amy Newman has heard me besmirch his good name and is like, no. The trailer just looked real dumb. I'm hoping it's better than what I first saw. And I love the people who are behind this. I think Freaky's actually really fun. So I'm hoping that it's better than what I just saw. But it looks really cheap and cheesy.
Man, for those of you that don't know, We Have a Ghost. It's a Netflix film coming out. Christopher Landon, who did Freaky, the Happy Death Day films, he wrote almost all of the Paranormal Activity films. It's David Harbour as a ghost, and then Jennifer Coolidge, my favorite. She's going to be a psychic medium, like a celebrity psychic medium. It looks fun. Rob, what did you think of the trailer?
I kind of liked it.
That's fine. Why are you being sheepish? I'm the one who's embarrassed that I
You're
don't
gonna yell
love
at
it.
us for
But
liking
I
it.
laughed in the trailer. I thought it was kind of delightful. Party pooper.
I'm sorry. I usually love everything. That one
And
kinda
doesn't
bummed
You
me out.
People start today?
Oh,
The
Did,
Jonah Hill?
but
What
it's
do
been
you
getting kind of meh reviews,
Oh,
which I'm
man.
very bummed about. But I mean, watch it and decide for yourself.
I'm
but,
going to watch it and
yeah.
decide for myself.
All right, this next
Everyone
one-
should go see Infinity Pool. It's a nice family film that'll warm your heart.
No, it's not. Do not take your children to
Take
see
your
that.
mom
Don't take your mom.
to Infinity Pool.
No. Do not do anything that Rob says you should bring your mother or your children or anything to. Absolutely not.
Bring your significant other.
That one's fine.
Yeah.
And you'll have a very fun car ride home.
Yes, you will.
What's
This next one has to be read with intensity.
Okay.
It's all caps.
Ooh.
Ethan Co Entertainment says, it is all in caps.
Do it.
Hey, fam, love your show. With the possibility of Shrek coming back, do you think DreamWorks will bring Hack Madagascar, the franchise's DreamWorks' second highest grossing franchise? What do you think?
Thank you, Ethan. That was great.
You took direction well.
That was really well done. What a
thank
dream.
you, Rob. What was the question?
Well, can you put that back up again? Hey, fam, I love your show. With the possibility of Shrek coming back, do you think DreamWorks will bring back Madagascar, The franchise is DreamWorks' second highest grossing franchise. What do you think?
So do we think there's going to be more Madagascar?
Yes.
Yeah, Taylor, if you could compose yourself since you're the DreamWorks one,
I'm trying.
get it together.
You went to DreamWorks
This is a
Studios.
professional series. This is we don't joke here.
We need Madagascar 5. We need it.
Yeah.
Escape from Virgin
5?
River.
There was 4 of them?
We need it.
I've only seen 1.
They're
Yeah.
great. I made David watch all of them with me like a week ago.
Man.
Ooh.
David's put upon David.
Yeah.
No, he loved it. He loved every minute of it.
Oh, okay.
His favorite was
yeah,
the third
he
one.
seems like he really did.
I know he's shaking his head.
Well, they have all those penguin spin-offs too, right?
Oh, they're
Where they do
cute.
lots
The
of things
penguins
with
of Madagascar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still doing stuff with them or no?
I think they have a Netflix series or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I like the penguins.
But you think they'll come back?
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. What else?
Jared Vesser says, how much do I pay Rob to read my script?
It doesn't work. You don't pay script. Well, you know.
Well, see, the thing is, it's I'll read. What you want is you want feedback. You want it from a professional reader. And depending on what kind of professional reader you go to and how many pages of notes you want, it can be hundreds of dollars. But for me, no,
Yeah.
I
Just
read
send
over
it on over to
3,000
P.O.
scripts
Box.
professionally in my life, and I'm never going to ever do it again.
Yeah.
Ever. Because here's the thing about scripts. No, I'm telling you, for every 100 scripts you read, maybe one is good. It is painful to read screenplays. Although I have to say, I read an incredible screenplay from a very storied producer this week that he is going to produce. Won't say anything about it, but it was really, 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 really good.
Ooh.
Well, if you guys are storied producers, you know where to send your scripts.
Yeah.
Send me your scripts. Orange Hand says Rob can't read any scripts because he's too busy working on his Brokeback Mountain remake starring Lily James and Gemma Chan.
He just broke
Oh my God, you just put something in my head that I didn't know I needed. Wow. Lily James and Gemma Chan in a remake of Brokeback Mountain. You know what? Send me that script.
Lord.
That one gets a pass.
Oh, I'll read that. Man, if you've already signed him up, I can't imagine how much fun that would be to make.
Like, get us out of here
KJ
real quick.
McGrew.
Chewie
KJ
light
McGrew.
speed.
KJ McGrew, I want to start watching Star Trek since I've seen the 09 movies.
That's the gateway.
Well, that's like you need to end. That's the entry point.
I just don't know where to start, and I started Discovery.
Yeah, Kelvin and Discovery.
Oh my
You
gosh.
start. So what you want to do is you want to get Kelvin and Discovery like really ingrained in your brain.
This is a real person,
Understand
actually.
that is the starting point for all of it, and then
Okay.
you can ignore everything else.
Yeah.
All right. Since this, I'm going to take your question seriously that you weren't just trying to troll me. I think the best way to start Star Trek is to watch it from the beginning. Go back to the original series that ran from 1966 to 1969. Now, here's the weird thing about it. When you go back and you look at it, there were 2 pilots made for Star Trek. There was The Cage with Captain Pike that was rejected by the network. So you can't watch that as the first episode of Star Trek because they incorporate that episode into a 2-part episode in the first season of Star Trek. So don't watch The Cage. And the way they first aired Star Trek is a little weird because the second pilot they actually aired as the 3rd episode they showed. So it's kind of bizarre. So take it from your Uncle Bob. Here's what you got to do. You got to go back and watch to start on your Star Trek journey Where No Man Has Gone Before. And then you have to watch an episode called The Corbomite Maneuver because that was the first episode of the series shot after the second pilot. And then go from there. And report back.
Yay.
A Sit Loud says somebody told S.H.I.E.L.D. and they sent Maria Hill to investigate the Domino's crime now. Starfire's topless and I can't stop it. Superhero pool party?
What?
I think it's okay, Sith Lord. It'll be It'll be okay.
It's okay, Sith Lord.
Starfire.
Starfire and Maria Hill and pizzas. And,
Did we accidentally get some of your fan fiction? No judgment. I just didn't know if that should is that
Brokeback
what
Mountain
that
with
was.
Starfire and Maria Hill. I'm there for it.
All right.
But he said pizza though, right?
Yeah, I'm in for pizza.
Klein, is that Sonier? I don't know if I got your last name right. Cool name, though. So, gang, in regards to Quantum Mania ticket sales, I bought a 10th ticket because I'm the Stubbs member of the group. Needless to say, the wallet is coughing. Well, you will get paid back. I hope your friends will give those tickets to you.
Yeah, they always get better friends.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Man.
Make them at least buy you popcorn.
Did everyone here pre-buy their Ant-Man and Quantum? Yeah.
I did. I got it for it was like the Monday after the opening weekend. I don't always like to go opening weekend. It can be too much mayhem.
I'll go with you for my second viewing, though. I want to see it twice.
I don't buy tickets until I get to the
I know.
theater.
Yeah.
I don't understand
Yeah,
how
but
you all
how many
live like
tickets?
this.
See, like I need to buy 4 or 5 sometimes.
Oh, that's true. You have a whole ass family.
So
Just Logan and I walk to a movie theater and
Like,
like,
hey,
oh, we
these
should go to a
seats.
movie.
yeah,
I don't know. I also just can't plan my life like that.
sometimes
We have to
you
get
have
good
to.
seats.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have to sit in the middle, sweet spot.
okay.
Anyway, Raymond Reddington says, can't wait for some BBC.
Well,
Batman Beyond.
Batman
you've
Beyond
been
Crew.
having it.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
That's what it means.
We're here.
Batman Beyond Crew.
Yes.
Yes, Rob.
Well,
Nothing
you
else.
got it. You don't have to wait. Is over.
Yeah.
We are
We're
here.
Yeah.
Well, then there's BBC One, BBC Two.
BBC Two.
Why? What'd you think? Alan Gonzalez says, I just wanted to say the other day that you were talking about Schnepp, saying he would have loved Endgame. In a Collider video, he predicts a ton of the things that happened in Endgame.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I missed that. I missed the big guy a lot. And it was one of my favorite times ever going to the movies was sitting next to him watching Infinity War. Because we were geeking out hard. It was weird. It's like little kids bouncing up and down the whole time. That movie was like watching crack.
Yeah.
I mean, taking
Watching
crack,
crack?
smoking crack.
You know when you just look at a drug?
Yeah.
It's like watching crack dry or what?
It
You're
was
like, ooh.
it was crack for the imagination.
Aw, there
Are
it
you
is.
watching it?
I was watching it. Well, because I was watching it, it was a bad thing. I was watching the movie, but I wasn't smoking it.
Good.
Okay,
I'm glad we
thanks, Rob.
cleared that
Thanks for that clarification.
You're welcome.
Crack. I didn't take it. No. Moving on.
Wouldn't that be great if you could smoke movies in like a glass pipe and you'd get them right in your brain?
Ingest it all in your mouth.
No.
Is this a 2-part? Hang on.
A two-parter.
we
Go
didn't
back
have
to
This was
Klein.
the Ant-Man, buying the Ant-Man tickets. We already read part 1.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me go back to this one. Sorry. Wait a
There-
minute. No, that's here. This. There you go. So, but do you think ticket sales will start to pick up nearing the actual release thing?
Klein Saunier says, but do y'all think the ticket sales will start to pick up nearing the actual release? Thanks, and bring on the filthy. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
yeah.
I mean, because Ant-Man was never a top. It was always a middle of the road, probably the least performing box office wise of all the. I mean, not when the MCU first started, but once it got rolling along, it's
Yeah.
always been the.
And what's this movie coming off of? What was the last Marvel movie before this one? Was
Wakanda
it
Forever
Thor?
was the last one.
Wakanda
Thor.
Forever.
No, it was
Wakanda
Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Forever,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Thor.
So this is actually,
then
to me,
Wakanda.
this is the first Marvel movie that's really picking up post Endgame, kind of, because we've met all these new people. You know, you had Shang-Chi. I guess Thor is part of that, but Thor: Love and Thunder was so
Yeah.
far
We
removed.
had to reestablish how
Make-
the Black Panther was going to
Yeah, maybe the
function.
first movie of this Kang arc.
Yeah.
whatever
Yes,
it is.
That's
I
how
think
it
it,
works.
yes.
So
Well, and I think that's why ticket sales will pick up too, because, you know, as they've said themselves, Ant-Man has always been the palate cleanser, and now they're shifting to making him a much more integral figure with a lot of actual consequences that should be a through line throughout this phase, theoretically. So I think that'll help with ticket sales.
Agreed. Chillmonger says, am I crazy in thinking The Northman deserved at the very least a nomination in even a minor category? I think it was the best A24 film of 2022. I couldn't even finish Everything Everywhere All at Once. You and I park our shuttlecrafts in the same shuttle bay. I love The Northman. I mean, it could have got a cinematography award. It was I loved it.
I'm just hung up on you couldn't even finish Everything Everywhere All at Once. I know everything is subjective, but why? Why couldn't you finish it? What happened? What was wrong?
is it a long movie?
No.
Everything- It's not?
No, it's just that everything everywhere all at once happens. So
Oh.
Yeah.
It's true. Jason Love sends in a super chat and says, place got broken into a while ago. Stuff was taken, but they left my extended edition versions of The Lord of the Rings completely alone, even though it was right there.
they're
I
like,
probably thought it
physical
looked
media.
like books. I'm sorry you got broken into, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
horrible.
That sucks.
I'm so sorry that happened.
Be careful out there.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Sylvester Young says, "I think we could get a static. Static Shock movie or show. I would like.
yeah.
I'd love to see that.
I want that so much.
Yeah.
I love Static Shock.
I loved. So do I. Originally part of the Milestone DC universe.
Yep.
Along with Icon, and that'd be great. I'd love to see
Wonderful.
that.
I think that's a character that easily transitions over to
And
streaming.
you could incorporate that character into the Justice
So many
League or
things,
the
yeah.
Titans or all kinds of different things.
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond. Yes, you
I'm
could.
just saying, come here there.
Well, with that being said,
Are you checking Deadline to make sure that?
I'm refreshing James Gunn's Twitter every like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Alan Ling says, with the Batman Beyond crew here today, time to go down memory lane. I remember when Rob told the story of Elizabeth finding his baby doll hot toy from Sucker Punch and asking why he had that. Yes, and it was even worse after I showed her Sucker Punch. Yeah, she...
So you double down.
I doubled down. You know, I mean, and it is kind of, when you think about it, if you look at all the action figures I have, the baby doll hot, there it is. There is the baby doll hot toy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You
I
could,
just feel, knowing you, why would one ask, why do you have this?
Yeah.
well, you know, I mean, this particular hot toy.
What's next?
What is next? Alan Ling, thank you for sending me down memory lane. Raymond Reddington says, now that John's gone, what's your problem with modern Star Trek, Rob? You know what? My problem with modern Star Trek is it's no longer Star Trek, in the sense that Star Trek to me was an action-adventure science fiction allegory that used science fiction concepts and stories to illuminate problems that we have today. It was a way to delve into the issues that we have today in a clever way. And I feel that Star Trek now is either overbearing, and Star Trek never told you what to think. Star Trek always told you or gave you something to think about. And that is no longer the case. And then the Star Trek movies since 2009 have tried to be Star Wars, which is unfortunate. But that's it in a nutshell. There's Star Shrek, everybody.
Jonathan, you're better than that.
I'm really not.
Look at
How? What?
that. Kenneth Estrella says, what would you think about Tom Holland playing the Spider-Man who dies in the last MCU movie, setting up our MCU Miles Morales?
Why you gotta die?
Yeah.
You've already seen him die once. I mean, and
Yeah. And that messed me up.
I know.
That. Whew.
also
That was-
needs to be kind of more of, like you were saying, more of a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could just hang up his tights. You don't have to be murdered or unalived to stop being a superhero. You could just
I
make
am
the active
unalive.
choice to not.
It's true.
Night of the Unalive.
Yeah. Also, Tom Holland I know he's like a grown man, but he's just a sweet little baby that I don't want to see be hurt.
It's true.
He's just a baby. He's just a baby.
And where's your voiceover class for people?
You can go to speakfriendstudio.com. That other one was Jonathan, though. He doesn't need any help. He's doing great.
Because Tom Holland is just a baby. He's just a little guy. I love it.
Wow. The Red One Real Talk says, have you guys watched the Alex Rider series? Love the books, and the show redeems the awful 2006 film, but it hasn't gotten a lot of press. Stuck in Freebie hell. I didn't even know that there was an Alex Rider series.
No. Freebie's weird, though.
Freebie is weird.
Yeah. But I was completely unaware of this.
I was unaware. Is Freebie the IMDb channel?
I think so.
Is
Yeah.
that what they changed? They changed,
Yeah.
yeah, that Alex Rider movie wasn't great. I didn't even know they made the series, though.
No.
Wow.
Interesting.
Oh no. Okay.
No. Retribution Zero says, Rob, what did you think of Star Trek Enterprise? Star Trek Enterprise was a show that was muddled with by the network. But there's a lot of great episodes, especially the 4th season of Enterprise is really good. It's more along the lines. And the 3rd season, which is one long story, is really good too. And I do like the cast. I think Jolene Blaylock might be my second favorite Vulcan after Leonard Nimoy's portrayal of Spock. But there's a lot to like. It also has episodes like Cogenitor, which is an episode about the Enterprise comes across an alien species with 3 genders. And it brings up a really interesting ethical conundrum that I think is quite good. So there's a lot of Enterprise is hit and miss, but there's a lot of joy to be had in it. It's been a long road getting from here to there. That's the theme song. It has lyrics. Release the breakdancing cut, says Danny DeVito as Mixoplitic.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about that
No,
at all.
although he might be a little too old to be.
Danny DeVito is a timeless wonder.
Okay.
He is a time capsule.
Yeah.
Like, he actually is a
I love
time
Danny
capsule.
DeVito, though.
I love him so much.
He speaks for the trees.
Also, I mean, another one of those actors too, who I don't think enough people know this, that is always talked about how sweet he is.
Oh, yeah.
Of just everyone who works with Danny DeVito always talks about what a sweet, sweet man he is. And I like to see all those nice people succeed.
Me too.
It's nice.
Brandon Nezamuddin says Poker Face on Peacock is awesome. Did you get to watch it yet? I watched the first episode. That is the Ryan Johnson TV series with Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
As a call her a detective.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Logan is really bad at show titles, and so he'll just say things like Hell's Kitchen, Shouty Shouty Cook Boy. And this one was, oh, hey, baby, the new show is out. Natasha Lyonne has real bad luck, but she reads people well. And I was like, Poker Face? Yeah, that one. So I'm very excited to watch it.
So
It's
he just
good.
calls
The
him by
first
the
episode's
tagline.
good.
Yeah, he just kind of tells me the plot,
Yeah.
and that's how I figure it out.
Any TV show that gives me a reference to Fox on the Run is a good TV show.
He just has the elevator pitch ready.
Exactly.
The J Thunder 45 says, I wonder if The Last of Us season 2 will just be game 2 since it's so much story for one season. Then again, season 1 will include the first game and the DLC.
There was downloadable content for the first game?
That's what I'm confused about.
I didn't
For
play
the first one,
anything.
yeah, it was kind of a flashback of how she got bit and she's with her friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never did any of that. Ooh.
That'll be a.
Oh, we actually have it here. It downloaded with the news. Yeah.
Okay.
I forget what it's called, but yeah, we have it.
That'll be fun. But
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I'm not sure how.
Sleuthius says this year for Power Rangers 30th anniversary, for the first time in the franchise, the upcoming season will have new original suits and not adapt from its Sentai counterpart, although monsters and Zords will be. That's interesting. Well, how can they do that? Because they use the footage from the original, and if they're fighting, how could they have original? That'll be interesting. I have questions.
Yeah.
How is that done?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. And
We'll
also,
see.
it's called Left Behind, the additional content.
Oh, okay, cool.
By the way, did you see the trailer for the new Left Behind movie, Rise of
No.
the Antichrist? Come on, man. I'm so there for that.
The Left Behind series never caught me.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible. But this
Is
one
that
looks
the one with
really
Kirk-
terrible.
is
and I
that
can't
Kirk
wait to see
Cameron?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Rob, did you know they're doing a Children of the Corn remake?
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for it last night and it blew my mind. I had no clue. It's a Shudder original, going to get a theatrical release.
Yep.
I had no clue.
I hope it's good. I like the first one. Directed by Fritz Kirsch, who also directed my beloved Tough Turf.
I
Surf and
dated a
turf.
guy whose family members were background actors in that film, in the original.
Wow.
Yeah, meeting them was very, very jarring.
They weren't acting.
No. That should have been a red flag.
Malachi. K Major says, what'd y'all think of the new Velma show?
Oh, well, Rob has a show.
Have you
Rob
watched
has
my
an after show.
25-hour live stream where I watched the first episode over and over
Yeah.
and
I
over?
love that it's 25 hours.
Well, yeah, we just over and
love
over,
that
we
you-
really dissect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it was going to be a 24-hour marathon, but I thought it was so good I watched it 2 more times.
You know, it's that first episode is rough. It is.
Is rough.
Rough. And it gets a little better. The animation, I think, is really, really great. But it's just, they don't seem to like the medium they're working in.
Well, it's
The writers, at least.
They hate it. It's like it felt to me like you had a bunch of writers get together that hated growing up, they hated high school, and the show is them taking revenge on everybody they hated.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was a fight with naked women in the locker room, so I like that.
Again, I'm so shocked.
And why do you have a hot toy of that?
But no, it was not fun to watch.
No, it feels like it's kind of one of those things where it's I'm gonna try to be edgy for the sake of being edgy. It's kind of like there's this theatrical show called Dog Sees God, and it is the like dark grown up teenage version of the Charlie Brown Crew. And I remember the first time I saw it going, why does this exist? And why do you hate this source material so much?
Yeah.
And not everyone has that reaction to it, but that's kind of how I felt about this.
I thought the humor it was also really obvious.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's turn Fred into the dick. Oh, really? How original.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that one coming. But I'm sure there's people who like it.
Yeah. And if you do, hey, good for you.
Yeah. Life Mastery Mindset with a $20 super chat.
Thank you.
The Last of Us Part 3 arrives in 2026 on PlayStation 5 in time for a 1 to 2 season adaptation for HBO starting in 2026 as well. I guess we're getting The Last of Us 1 in Season 1. Can't wait to see people's reactions to Season 2.
Oh, I bet you can't.
Yeah, well.
Do we know anything about part 3 at all yet?
No,
About
I
the
double
story?
checked right now. It's not confirmed yet.
Okay.
But
And who knows if they push it? You never know.
oh man, I
Yeah.
had it open and then I looked up Danny DeVito. He's 78, by the way, in case anyone was
While
wondering.
you're looking that up,
8 years young.
Rob, last night I just remember. Have you seen that in art Joker with the rooted hair? Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. Guess
There's no other thing I want right now.
Guess what's
ever.
coming, dude?
You
Guess
got
what's
it?
coming? I don't have it in my possession,
It's coming in
but
3
it's
years.
coming to me, and I have the 2-pack that has 2 Jokers with rooted hair.
I can't. I thought of all the hot toys I wanted, and then as soon as I saw that, there's nothing else that I want more than that.
It is.
It
I've
is
held
gorgeous.
it when Justin was here in town. Justin from Justin's Collection, by the way, the best hot toy and figure review site on the web. He was working with InArts, reviewing and shooting the figures, so I was able to see that Joker figure and have it and hold it. It's incredible. The Joker, the Batman, the Gandalf, the Aragorn—they're incredible. Incredible.
And I know how expensive that thing is now.
It's well, you know what? I paid it off at Toys Wonderland over the course of a year. So
It's like $1,000.
yeah, but it's 2 figures, diorama.
That thing looks well.
Everyone's like, what?
Going back to Last of Us.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
If you're looking at, there's an article that came out just about a week ago from Forbes. There have been no announcements about a part 3. All we have is back in 2021, Druckmann said, I don't know how much I want to reveal. Co-writer Hallie Gross and I did write an outline for a story that we're not making, but I hope one day can see the light of day that explores a little bit what happens after this game. We'll see. That's all we've got.
So confirmed.
So, so there is no part 3 that has been greenlit. Druckmann has made some kind of stories that happen after part 2 in his own mind, in his own headcanon. So maybe those could come to fruition. But as of right now, we are just working with these 2 video games. All right.
Ricky Bobby says, hey, everyone. I hope y'all are great. Are you guys all great?
Yeah,
We're great.
We're great.
All right, there you go. Would you think the Batman 2 would focus more on Bruce Wayne and less on Batman? I would also love to see a Red Hood versus Batman storyline in Matt Reeves' universe.
I feel like in Matt Reeves' universe, there's going to be a very, very heavy influence on Batman because the best Batman stories are that is who he is. The mask is Bruce.
Yeah.
And I think we saw the inklings of how he needs to make that shift of having Bruce Wayne be a public figure again because of Alfred talking to him about the logistics of Wayne Enterprises, how the whole city sees him as this kind of recluse, how he needs to take ownership of his company to enact change in other ways.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see more of that character, but the focus is always going to be Batman because that's who he intrinsically is. Bruce Wayne is completely him masking.
Right. He'll be protecting that Wayne fund
Yeah.
that was abused.
Agreed. K Major says, what are this generation's coming of age movies? Infinity War, Endgame.
One of those coming of age. I mean,
No, kidding. That's actually a really good question.
I'm not sure.
There's a couple that come to mind for me, but one of them's Juno. I think that counts.
well, that wouldn't be this generation. That came out in
Yeah.
like 2000.
Oh.
That's like
Exactly.
Am I
I was
old?
going to say.
Yeah,
You're
you're
old,
not part
babe.
of the. I think they're
Well,
literally
wait a
talking
minute.
about
When you
Gen
say
Z.
coming of age, I mean, I think that, are we going to define, say, coming of age like a teen coming of age movie?
Yeah,
well,
so
just
this
like growing up.
Yeah. Do we? I mean, it's funny because, like, to me, one of my favorite coming of age movies is Almost Famous, but that's 20 years ago.
Yeah. Booksmart would be a more recent
Booksmart's
one.
a good one.
For people who are having that more kind of failure to launch, that like late 20s, early 30s age, I think it's called Falling Standing Up. which to no shock anyone in this room, it's with Ben Schwartz. It's a wonderful, wonderful film with him and Billy Crystal that not enough people have seen, but it's on Amazon. I think you can also buy it on Apple.
What about
Perks of being a wallflower.
Yeah, that's a little early too. I was thinking Muriel and the Dying Girl.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, Perks. I read that book.
Euphoria.
And that was a big one for me.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, in some ways, yes.
You know, that someone's going to make the quintessential OnlyFans coming of age documentary.
Probably. Oh, we do have Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret coming out soon.
Yeah. Although that's set in the 70s.
It is, but I think for a lot of people who are closer to that age bracket, it'll be great.
Does that mean that they're going to make Then Again, Maybe I Won't?
Turning Red, I think, is a great coming of age story for this.
80 for
this
Brady.
bracket.
Oh yeah, 80 for Brady
80 for
coming
Brady,
of age. They are
obviously,
coming
too.
of an age.
They are. That's a really interesting question, though.
It really is. Bradley Michael says Top Gun didn't name the enemy either. They're not allowed to in order to receive the deep access to the Navy. But they did say MiGs in the original Top Gun, calling them MiGs, and MiGs are Russian made planes.
But did they say that this 4th gen was a MiG? He said, I've got a certain amount of MiGs that I've shot down. That's why I'm an ace. But were these MiGs?
I don't think so. They were
remember
just 4th generation fighters, John.
Yeah. From the guys. The
From
guys that made the
But the
4th
thing is,
gen.
what's really weird is they could only be, if they're 4th generation fighters, they could be Chinese, Russian, Iranian, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the French have 4th gen. They're almost like F-16s, but they're 4th gen. Hard to say, man.
Yeah. It's hard to say. Nabang says, Creus, what voices have you done for animation?
Oh, we don't have time to go through a bunch of them. I've done a whole bunch of anime for Sentai Filmworks. You can find all of it on my IMDb. The best one, though, is Ungo. Ungo's the one I'm very, very proud of. That's a really, really great show.
Can you do Ungo now?
Ungo, that one is my natural speaking voice. I'm one of the lead characters in it. Oh. And I think it's a really, really cool show. You should
I
check
love
it
when
out.
you, can I just make you perform like a monkey for me right now?
Well,
like,
no, that's demeaning when you put it that way, Rob.
Can
I show you my very, very wonderful skills that I trained for?
Could you? And by the way, before you do that, where can people find you on the web?
You can find me. The boot camp is at eebstudios.com. It's February 18th.
Nice save, Rob.
Nice save, Rob.
Goodness gracious.
No, but really, let's just now I'll just promote your career because I said dance like a monkey.
That's what this episode is all about. It's just
I love when you do your voices, though.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What kind of voice you want?
I whatever you want to give me.
Okay.
I leave it up to you.
I voice a cat a lot in games where I'm a little fighter cat.
Really?
Yeah, where I'll just be like,
You ready to fight? I am ready to fight. You want to kick some tail? I'm ready to kick some tail. Let's go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. I like that. See? Brian C23 says,
what? Just let's go.
Have you seen, Brian C23 says, have you seen The Traitors on Peacock? It's a murder mystery elimination game. I have not.
No, but that sounds fun.
If you read how much money Peacock has been losing.
Yes, I did. It's
bananas. I mean, I get it. I get these startups, but I don't understand how they can get away with that.
Me neither.
But I haven't seen that. I'd like to see that. I like that kind of thing. Breeze Vanese says, saw Infinity Pool last night, and I am still contemplating if I liked it or not. It is different, but wish Regal weren't prudes and screened the NC-17 version. You know what? The thing is, they probably didn't release the NC-17 version, but thank God it's Brandon Cronenberg because they're going to release the NC-17 version on disc, and I am there for it, just like they did with Possessor. Yep. There's a lot of bodily fluids apparently spilled in Infinity Pool. There is. Kurt says, did any of you read Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mom Died? Definitely a good read.
My mom actually recommended this book to me. She just finished this. Jeanette McCurdy was on iCarly. She had a very, very rough upbringing. Her mom was a huge stage mom. I mean, she was having her use Crest white strips as just a little kid, dyeing her hair, always talking about like weight loss, trying to be physically attractive, looking for male attention at way too young of an age. And this was all stuff that was kind of like pushed upon her by her mother, who wanted her to be successful. And so it's a look at the kind of work she did on iCarly, dealing with her mother and just kind of dealing with the aftermath of her death. And my mom was saying it was a really, really great read that is heartbreaking and really funny. But she called me after she finished it I'm so glad that I was so hands off with you being an actor of just, yeah, if you want to do this, hey, that's up to you. Like she was so happy that she just never pushed for me to do any of this. Whereas the town I grew up in, we had a lot of stage moms who were really intense and were really terrifying. And mine was just like, yeah, you could do this. Culinary school would be pretty cool too, I guess. I don't care.
Sometimes
That sounds like a just from a show business standpoint, the kind of book I'd like to read.
Yeah.
Just get industry insight, stage mom insight.
Exactly. And she's so funny and she is such a talent and good for her that she's taken a big break from acting. It's a shame because she's so good, but really worthwhile. I've got the book. I just need to start reading it.
Wow.
I'm reading a financial advice book right now. It's boring.
That's good.
I need to get my life in order.
Mr. Holbrook says, how was Skinamarink?
Only one
You still
person
haven't
saw
seen
it.
it, right? You still haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect because I went into it without seeing a trailer, without seeing. I only had seen the poster. I was expecting like a Paranormal Activity type of movie, but it was just a lot of still shots, very little dialogue, very little story. It's all left to your interpretation of what you think is happening. I have some theories. I've been thinking about this movie nonstop though since I've seen it. So I would highly recommend it. I know it's not going to be for everybody just because it's very experimental and very different. But if you live in the LA area, on Thursday, February 2nd, there's the Skinamarink experience at the Ace Hotel in Los Angeles, which is such a fun place. They're going to have the director, they're going to have a Q&A, they're going to screen the film. I'm tempted to go see it again. It's fun.
I love the Ace Hotel.
Yeah.
It's got a great bar.
You have a full review of that up on your own channel, though, don't you, Taylor?
Oh, yes, I do.
Where
Thank you
can
so
people find that?
Oh, well, 50 Shades of Tay with 3 Ys is my YouTube channel. I just put up the Skinamarink review last weekend, and then last night I saw Fear and put up my Taylor's take of that. Thanks, Chris.
Sweet. No problem. What else we got?
You know where you can find me?
Where can they find you?
You ain't never gonna find me.
In the shadows.
Suthius says, if Ray was in the Last of Us universe, he'd be responsible for that delicious-looking sandwich Ellie had. Ray would be the resident Firefly chef.
Aw. Baking bread and shit.
It's pretty good.
He's eating right now.
I want to say something, but I'm eating, so yeah.
Say it anyway.
Uh-uh. Oh wait.
We'll come back to you, Ray. Me and you. What's our next?
Andrew Rice says, saw the Three Stooges movie 5 times in the theaters in 2012. Was wondering what Yo's thoughts were on it.
Yinz's.
No one's ever asked us that.
It's Yins. Is that a word?
Yinz's thoughts. Yeah, this is somebody from Pennsylvania, probably.
Oh, yeah. How do you say Yins properly?
You just did.
Okay, I'm
Yinz's.
ready to address
Just
the
not
sandwich.
like Yins is?
Yinz's.
Okay, Yins.
I'm ready to address the sandwich.
Oh. Okay.
Am I the only
well-
person that saw her eating that sandwich and I said, you know what's missing? Potato chips. Like, I get hungry every time someone eats on screen. That's
Same.
just the way I am. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why I'm like this. But yeah.
Perfect.
I was like,
That's how you are, Ray. Perfect. Are you subscribed to Binging with Babish? I feel like you'd love that YouTube channel. He cooks all the stuff that's featured in TV shows and movies.
oh, that sounds.
I love him so much.
dope.
His books are fantastic.
Yeah, we'll talk after.
Are you potato chips in the sandwich or separately in
No,
a baggie?
separate.
Okay.
Sometimes they're in, depending on what.
Okay.
But like if I'm in a rush, but I like the savoring each one.
That's
you
fair.
know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Why did I do this? Savoring each one.
I'm giving everyone my Italian hands. I keep gesturing all over the place like I'm a tiny raptor.
Well, Yinses, did any of you see the Three Stooges movie back from 2012? And what did you think?
I remember hearing about the casting and being really excited about it. I never saw it.
I saw it.
Yeah?
I saw it once. I didn't mind it. I thought it was, I liked it. It was interesting. I was a Marx Brothers kid growing up. I was not a Three Stooges guy. And I thought the movie was going to be like watching or hearing 2 hours of fingers on a chalkboard, but it wasn't. I liked it.
Nice.
Yinses. Adam, say, learn something new every day. Adam Mooney sends in a $50 super chat.
Woo!
Oh my
Adam
God.
Loney, thank you so much.
$50. Batman Beyond crew, do you think we'll see Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke continue in the MCU post-Secret Invasion? Love their work in other shows and think they could bring a lot to the MCU. Rob, what was in the scripts?
Oh, this is a tricky one because you can't really say anything.
I know I have my hand on the pig. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I honestly can't say
Yeah.
anything.
Okay, I do want to just honor your question here. I have not read the scripts at all. And I've read one page. Shoot.
What are we talking
I
about?
haven't read the script. I'm just
what?
gonna say.
Rob turned his laptop to me during one of the shows and showed me a big moment, and I went, and then we came back to live, and I was just like, yeah, let's talk about the Guardians Christmas special. Yeah, we really can't say anything just because I don't want to sway you in any way, shape, or form.
No, but I think I really, really thought that they were great. I thought the scripts were great, and the storyline is really interesting.
The
Taylor.
pig is at the ready.
It's really interesting. It has a great, thoughtful, compelling story that is a great continuation from Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. And what they do with the Skrulls is very compelling. And in a way, it's very Star Trekian, like what I was talking earlier. But I'm not going to say anything that happens in it. It is surprising.
People are going to, I think, really enjoy it. As long as that script is executed really well. Because
the tone is very serious. Mm-hmm. It's very much, it's got that international spy thriller. There's a reason why Nick Fury is the focus. It's really, really good.
But thank you so much for supporting the channel on that level, too. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. What else we got?
And then we just got some support here.
And then Philly G sends in a super chat. That's the end.
$10 one of just support. Oh, Philly G, that's so sweet of you. Or Yins, or Yous if you're in a different part of Pennsylvania, you know? Well, that'll do it for us, you guys. Thank you so much for being here on this very special Batman Beyond Day. We really appreciate you being here because we can't do the show without you and all your awesome questions. So, Robert, where can the people find you?
Well, other than here, you can find me on my own YouTube channel, The Burnett Work, or find me on Instagram at RMBurnett or on Twitter at BurnettRM.
Awesome. And of course, behind the scenes, we have had Ray Ora, Chef Pleasures himself.
Ray Ora with a 0.
Woo! We've got producer Jonathan Voico.
You can't find me.
No, but he can still hear the screams. We've got Taylor Gonzalez.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at 50 Shades of Tay.
And I am Chris Carr. You can find me at actor Chris Carr on Twitter. There we go. Twitter or Instagram. I talk for a living. Sometimes it doesn't work. Thank you so much for being here with us. We really, really appreciate you. Be sure to come back for our Let's Play GoldenEye. It's going to be great. Hit that bell so you know exactly when we're going live. Smash that like button. And until next time, you guys, stay safe out there. Have a great weekend.
That's why I was laughing.